Our trip to Rara began with us waking up early in the morning to catch the first flight to Talcha airport. We got ready and left for the airport at around 5:30 in the morning. To reach Rara, we would have to fly from Kathmandu to Nepalganj and then from there to Talcha airport located in Mugu district.
नेपालगञ्जसम्मको उडानको समय 1 घण्टाको हुनेछ र हामी 16,500 फिटको उचाइमा
Because we were starving, we decided to get us some Nepalganj ko breakfast. We then went back to the airport and waited to board the flight to Talcha. We did not know how uncertain the flights to Talcha were. After waiting for almost 2 hours, we finally got our boarding passes. Talcha Airport is located at an altitude of 2,700 meters above the sea level in Mugu district. The airport was only blacktopped in 2015 and it's considered one of the most dangerous airports in Nepal. At Talcha, we decided to have lunch and find a way to reach Rara Lake. And while the Marsi Tamalku path was being cooked, we went around the airport to see what the place was like. We also saw our plane take off immediately back to Kathmandu. Then we had our lunch, which is one of the best plates of dal bhat I've had in a while. While having lunch, we had met a group of people who were also traveling to Rara. So we hired a jeep along with them to reach Rara Lake, which is around 1 hour ride and a very risky one. At the Rara National Park entry point, you will be required to get an entry pass which costs Rs 100 per person. The jeep only reaches halfway to the lake and you'd have to either hike or take a horse ride to the lake. There's just one hotel inside the national park and some homestays around the park. So if you're traveling to Rara, make sure you do your research and find a place to stay that suits you the best. After half an hour hike, we reached the lake and we were mesmerized by the beauty of it. Our hotel lied at a place called Saliri back at the Rara National Park entry point. So we spent some time at the lake and took a horse ride back to the hotel. After some bonfire and a warm plate of rice, we quickly went to sleep as we would have to wake up early next day. The next morning, we had our breakfast and walked to the lake, which took us around an hour. We then went for a boat ride to cross the lake so that we would be able to start our hike to Murma Top. In about 45 minutes of boating, we reached right at the army camp, where we also had some samosa at the canteen, and then prepared for our hike to Murma Top. To reach the top, most of the people opt for horses as the ascent is a bit challenging and takes around 2 to 3 hours. As we went upwards, we could see the lake from bird's eye view. I could not wait to reach the top and see what the lake looked like from up there. When we finally reached the top, following a 2-hour hike, the view from there was breathtaking. Murma Top lies at an altitude of 3,700 meters and offers stunning views towards the south, west, and the north. After spending some time at the top and enjoying the breathtaking view of the lake and mountain ranges, we descended towards Murma village down the hill. It takes around 1.5 hours to reach Murma village from the top. By the time we reached the village, we were so tired and still had 2 more hours of hike before we could reach the lake and then the hotel. So, we decided to take a horse ride down to the lake and then to the hotel. By the time we reached the hotel, it had already gotten dark and cold. So we had our dinner and went to sleep. The third day, we woke up early and took a jeep back to Talcha. Our flight was scheduled for 11 in the morning. As we reached the airport, we had some tea and waited for our flight. Since the flights at Talcha are very uncertain, we were really worried about whether or not we'd be able to return to Nepalganj that very day. But after waiting for over 4 hours, the airplane finally arrived at midday. As we boarded the plane, we took a sigh of relief, and in no time, we were back at Nepalganj, bidding goodbye to Mugu district. Our flight to Kathmandu was at 5:30 in the evening, so we decided to go around Nepalganj and try different popular food in the city. We explored and went on a tuk-tuk ride around the city, had food, and reached the airport in the evening. Full of challenges and adventure, our trip to Rara finally came to an end. I was so tired by the time I boarded the flight to Kathmandu that I could not wait to get home and go to bed. So if you're looking for an adventure, Rara is calling.
Naali pani ko churi chuma chum